I won't, but my shit will. All right, I'm rolling with that because I'm tired of messing with it. Anyways, it's Wednesday. Today's Wednesday,
Today is Wednesday.
and I'm guessing a bunch of people clicked on the title because spoiler-free Loki talk. Why not? Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Well, there'll be some spoilers later, but there'll be a nice warning for you guys. I'll put 5 minutes on the clock, but we're gonna give you guys some spoiler-free reactions first. But before all that, I gotta do the professional thing because we got a lot of new listeners and viewers, especially over at the YouTube channel for LRM Online and the Genreverse Podcast Network. It's pretty cool. Welcome to the Daily COG, the Daily Cup of Genre, where we deliver exactly that, a bunch of random shit from geek and pop culture, brought to you by none other than myself, Kyle Malone, and my co-host,
Zorro.
There we go. Why not? I'm telling you, man, I don't know how that's not. You could do the same thing, sort of, that you did before with Antonio handing it down to someone else. Like, God, make it happen.
Really good. Well, I'm actually Manny, and the better looking of the two here.
For sure.
I'm only
Malones
here
are
for
hideous.
Affirmative action. Make sure you keep it brown sometimes. Well, then again, Michael's pretty brown too. I think
All
that's
right.
it.
Yeah, sure.
The guy that, anyway.
So, Loki, I can't. Before we do our little 5 minutes of spoilers in a few minutes, man. I don't want to give too much away in case someone listened yesterday for my predictions, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. But were you satisfied?
In the words of Hamilton, I will never be satisfied. Hell yeah, dude. 100% satisfied. I know this is kind of our first reaction because we just saw it a couple of hours ago. I've already watched it twice, actually.
Jeez.
I learned from my mentor, Bruce Wayne, that sleep is overrated.
It absolutely. Tangent. Did you ever watch Angel?
A little bit, yeah.
In the last season, there's a time where Lorne, the Green Demon, that eventually joins the team, the empath. He gets his sleep removed so he can do more work. And,
right on.
Yeah, like, I mean, it ends up being a bad thing if you do it for too long, but like, he was really, really productive for about a week. And if I could do that for like 2 days at a time, 2 or 3 days, just, like, if you could exchange like a 12 to 14 hour block of dedicated sleep for 3 days of non-tired, I'd do that. Anyways, continue. Did you have any other thoughts?
It like I was starting to say, it might be an overreaction. But I think out of what phase are we in now? 4?
4.
It's probably the best I've seen out of phase 4. That includes Black Widow, WandaVision,
Loki, and
Soldier,
Falcon Winter Soldier, and
this is the best out of all of them. Not only did it focus in on the character that is on the title, but it has also now taken
something big.
Taking us to the next step that has an impact on everything.
Right.
And I think that's kind of what we were missing from the other shows. Not to say that Falcon and the Winter Soldier wasn't important, because it passed the torch, which is totally important, and it told a really good story. I just thought the execution of it was poor.
Yeah, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but it would be fair to say the Falcon and Winter Soldier is a major step in the social aspect of the MCU and changing it, not necessarily the story, so to speak. For the character, but not for the broader universe.
I want to clear that up. Not the execution as a whole. The finale. They didn't stick the landing, in my opinion. The rest of it I thought was great. And it did everything. It had nostalgia in it. They managed to put in 1 billion Easter eggs, including the Thanos copter and things like that are just fun, not necessarily there for any purpose. Something that we wanted and we didn't get was like random time travel and kind of, but I think that's a different series. Now looking at it as a whole, I'm glad they didn't do that.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm very happy with it, and I mean, we can't necessarily talk about it right now, but yeah, it accomplished so much more than any of the other series. Not to say that WandaVision wasn't fun. I enjoyed WandaVision.
So did I a lot.
Because
we had, I was gonna say, what was it? Did you enjoy WandaVision once you tempered your own expectations?
I never had.
You never had any. Okay.
No, I've been on. We've been doing this podcast for a while, but everybody was so fixated on certain things that were going to happen, and I was like, no, this is I said it multiple times. It's a contained story about Wanda and Vision.
Yeah, and I was never for. When people were talking about what should be introduced and they were throwing around mutants and all, I was like, I don't think so, guys. This is a magic story.
Yeah.
This is a magic story centered on this group of comics, and of course they're bringing things that were spread over decades into a single, what was it, 8 episodes or whatever, 7, 8, 9, 9, something. Anyways, yeah.
Yeah. So, this just accomplished so much, and I think it's because the last 2 series tempered our expectations a little bit. It made for that finale to have a little bit more weight when as you were watching it, and kind of almost like raising your eyebrows. It's like, wait, what's happening? What's happening? And then yeah, it was I mean, thinking about it, was like, what else did I want from it? Like, it was good. it was good.
I agree.
That'll do, pig. That'll do.
I can also say that I think this is the one that I think I already said this on the Marvel show, which Nick and I co-host together. And you guys will be able to find our full spoiler in-depth look at this episode on the Marvel Multiverse Mayhem Loki Thursdays show. Anyways, I had said that this has been so far, I think, the most consistent one for me. There hasn't been, like, I'll admit there's parts of episodes I don't care for, but overall there hasn't been an episode where I'm like, I could skip this next time. I know some people had that with like episode 2 or 3. I don't remember which one it was, but I know some people were upset with one of the early episodes.
I think it was episode 3 that the entire thing felt filler.
Yeah, something like that. I didn't.
There was like a random fight in it, also, and
that part of it I remember not liking the random guy showing up, the guard at the end. Yeah. Limitless, but I without giving too much away before we get into where we do give things away, I did also, like I said, thoroughly enjoy it consistently throughout. I can say, yeah, I think I agree that this is probably the best of Phase 4 that we've seen so far, and that comes at me really, really having a strong connection with Falcon and Winter Soldier on a couple of levels, and then really, really digging magic and illusion in real life so much that WandaVision also tickled a part of my brain that other things in the MCU didn't. But I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, in about 10 seconds, we're going to go ahead and do about 5 minutes of spoiler talk. So yeah, skip ahead 5 minutes right about now.
That was 10 seconds?
Yeah, that's 10 seconds. I seriously called quite a bit, dude. Like, we did our predictions yesterday. I said I think it's possible Kang's in a prison, whether by his own design or trying to get out or trying to get to something. That turned out to be mostly true. There's various versions of him, and he did sort of build both a prison for himself in his timeline, but also one to keep others out. So that there's that. I was wrong about Renslayer trying to get to or get away from him, but they could still do something with her in that aspect later. But that didn't happen in this. I was right that the Loki's success would be a failure and release Kang. I called that like 3 weeks ago and reiterated yesterday. What else did I get? There was one other point that I got. Let me look up in our Slack. I'm sorry. This was great because it's like on recording, and I did it a few weeks ago. And then I said that I think he could be the guy here at the end, the one who remains, but I said that it might not be that Kang or look like him. He might be old. They might use a different actor. It could be something with time, but it's possible. And that turned out to be right. Interesting though, man. What'd you think of having Jonathan Majors in the fucking show?
So what I didn't expect was for him to have such a big role.
Yes.
I expected like a quick cameo and him disappearing or something like that, or him not. I mean, I said it yesterday in the show because when you gave your prediction, I said they don't do big things like that on the show. They haven't. So while it was wishful thinking that it was something like that would happen,
I expected maybe a voice or a hologram. Remember, I said maybe a hologram or I am Kang, but doesn't look. It's not Jonathan Majors yet. So anyways,
So when they walk into that room and he's just there or comes through, I was like, whoa. I was like, oh, okay. I even psyched myself out. I was like, wait, is that even Jonathan Majors?
Yes.
Like, is this a character that's like him and it's just like a bait and switch because they know we're waiting for it? Like, what are you guys doing here? This isn't real, is it? And then And let me ask you something. I never thought I was gonna get a jump scare with Miss Minutes. that was interesting.
I expected her to be definitely a part of this episode because, I mean, come on now. Like, why would you give that marketing up already? We haven't seen her in a bit. But no, I wouldn't expect her to scare me. What did you think about seeing the Sylvie betray Loki this time, and how much that really hurt him?
Well, that's actually not the weird thing. It was the weird things when they were making out.
Yeah, well,
I was like, is this like making out with your sister or making out with yourself?
It's like a masturbation type thing, isn't it?
I was like, what do we call this? because it's weird. Well,
Norse deity, love thyself.
Let's be real. Loki has had the most growth than any other character in the MCU. Period.
With this. Well, him and Thor, and now with this, absolutely, we'll see what happens in Love and Thunder. But him and Thor, 100%.
But there's nobody who's gone through more, both sides of the coin.
No.
Fighting alongside villains, being the main villain, with the Avengers, getting his neck snapped.
40 seconds.
Just everything. I think it's great. And then. So for him to be that hurt, I think it's the first time he's realized how much damage he's caused in the past, and now he's got to experience it himself. And who else did it come from but other than another version of him? So it was very, very well done, and I think what I like the most about it is how much it takes from everything else that's already happened. So if you've been invested in it, you got a big payoff.
That's great, man. And look at that. Perfect timing. Of course, people watching on video will see that I was, actually given some finger cues, but I'm stalling for time to shut off my vibrating phone. Anyways, yeah, dude. everyone that hasn't seen the episode, that didn't listen through the spoilers and still stuck through to listen to the rest of the stuff that we have to talk about, thank you very, very, very much. Please make sure you hit subscribe and follow, all that good stuff, and listen to Nick and I tomorrow talking in depth spoilers about the show. Man. Let's stick on the Marvel train for a minute, because big things happen in Loki at the finale, just like they do in every Marvel show so far. We've been talking a lot about how Phase 4 and forward seems like it might what's the word I used? Chords. Like, instead of a big rope tying everything together like you saw during the Infinity Saga, I've been saying I think there's like a magic chord. There's like a street level grounded chord. There's a multiverse chord. You know what I'm saying? Like, and all of those will eventually have some strings that go in between and tie together down the line. And so it's not surprising to see something big happen in this, but this is the first time that we see some universe changes, like you and I discussed. What do you think happens with Eternals then? Do you think that's another part of this equation that we've been looking at into Phase 4?
Here's the deal. I don't necessarily think Eternals is going to really matter. I
hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't.
I'm still hoodwinked as far as to what's the point? You know,
my only thing is the one thing I don't want is using them to say, oh, we secretly put this in humans and ta-da, mutants. Like, I'm so scared that's going to happen. It's not what I want.
So yeah, so what I'm doing is really tempering my expectations with the Eternals, because until you mentioned it right now, I forgot that was even happening. I'm already kind of a little bit more focused on Shang-Chi. And that one I'm being a little bit more critical,
because you want the,
like I've said, I want the martial arts. Yep. I want the martial arts Shang-Chi. Yeah, that's really what I want. And the Eternals, I don't know, it just doesn't like the names on that film are just so big. I don't see them coming back for too many things. Maybe one or two of them.
Yeah. And not together again. Definitely split off.
So
freaking, you know, I don't know what to do with my hair.
Cut it off.
I want to. I can't yet. Annoying. My son is getting a haircut. He finally got tired of it, and it's just these little parts of the bangs that just won't stick behind the fucking ears. First world issue. Not really. I mean, people get long hair, yeah, and don't like it. Anyways,
my hair's super long right now.
I've never had hair this long. Not even like proportionally, like ever. And I really I don't know what to other than to keep growing it out to get it to what I'm trying to do. I don't know what else to do. But anyways, so Eternals, man, like that's the big one. Like, do they explain mutants, and if they do, how big of a bullshit plot is that? I mean, gun to your head, man. How much do you feel like it's going to happen? That the Eternals bring us mutants in some form?
Mutants? No, zero.
Dude, I've got this horrible feeling. Horrible feeling.
Zero.
I really do.
Like, I don't know what the point is. So, the Eternals,
that's what I'm saying. Like, what's the point if you're not going to use them to change the
right
MCU?
Now, my opinion on the Eternals is as low as the Inhumans. As far as why. So, yeah, I mean, there's and especially after Loki now, it's kind of like we're ready to roll.
Yeah.
And it looks like Eternals might take us a step back.
To a degree.
Yeah. And let's be real. If Black Widow premiered a week or two after Loki, makes it even worse. It would have made it worse.
Yeah.
As far as having to go back.
Yeah.
So just big kudos to Marvel Studios for this one. I think looking back at it retrospectively, WandaVision was kind of our warm hug, our moment to really process what happened with Endgame, and we got to grieve and we got to go through it with Wanda, and then Falcon and the Winter Soldier set us back up as far as where we are socially, politically, what that climate is going to be like. And then Loki just comes in and messes everything up and introduces us to the wild, wild west of the multiverse. So, I mean, it's very, very well done, as you can see. And so that's the thing that gets me about, and I'm beating a dead horse now. That's the thing that gets me about Black Widow, is that besides that end credit scene, it really does
nothing. I mean, it
just feels out of place.
It potentially sets up Melina for later, but we don't.
Maybe. And
exactly.
And
we don't
let's
know.
Let's be real. We all want to see more Red Guardian.
Yes,
we do. And I'm gonna be honest. I want the opportunity for Taskmaster to be redeemed as far as a character. Yeah. Because as far as the action went, as far as the abilities, it was on point.
Yeah.
Maybe if people have issues with the costume, I'll flip them off, because
I just hated the mask. I wish it was more skull-like. That's it.
I mean, more skull. I mean, that was fine. They've never been the greatest at costumes.
Really, they've done the best job of all. Have you seen Doctor Strange?
Well, I mean, they've had the most opportunities too. So
they didn't. Iron Man, easy to get. They didn't fuck it up. Captain America, incredibly hard to do. They made it work. Thor,
like half
hard
of
to do,
America
made it work. Loki, hard to do, made it work. Nah, man. I trust Marvel when it comes to costumes, but
that's because you have him doing all the designs, so does very well. But they're all very cookie cutter though, man. They look very similar.
With the textures and stuff, because they're all in the super.
Yeah.
Whatever, Manny. They even make jokes about that in the comics, and used them in Daredevil, the guy that makes the superhero suits with the special linings and stuff. And yeah, man, that's not even like, that's like a 0.5 world complaint, man. That's like top 0.5% world complaint.
Well, I need to complain about something. I can't complain about Loki being bad right now, unless I'm going to hyper focus on episode 3.
No.
Yes. What? So there's okay. So we're talking about all this. Mm-hmm. There's something huge happened yesterday.
Which one?
In the MCU.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about Ryan Reynolds and Taika Waititi, who are coming out together in.
You should segment first.
What's that?
You should.
Oh,
have a word from our sponsor.
Yeah, I just looked at the clock. So yeah, before we transition into the next topic, we'll go ahead and take a word from our wonderful sponsors over at Grow Generation. See, that's why we co-host this thing together. Anyways, listen up to I guess me. Grow Generation, where the pros go to grow. Grow Generation offers the best deals and discounts on the best grow products on the market. Grow Generation serves customers across the nation and carries a wide inventory of renowned cultivation brands. Go to www.growgeneration.com, where the pros go to grow. All right. Thank you guys for sponsoring the show. Yeah. So
real quick, man.
Yeah, what's up?
Just a public service announcement.
Sure.
Don't be an asshole and post things on Twitter. Let people enjoy the show. Because I know that most people are smart enough now to stay off of social media, but it's because assholes like you. Yeah. And I'm not meaning you.
No, Kyle, I know what you mean.
I'm referring.
You just
to
saw
the person.
something. Yeah, you just saw something.
Oh, dude, it's all over.
Yeah.
I
haven't been on it, so I haven't seen anything yet.
Enjoy the damn show. And wait to give
a
at least
warning.
24 hours.
I mean, yeah.
It hasn't even been 12 hours yet.
We gave a warning here on the thing.
Yeah. No, that's different. Being able to click on something and then saying, hey, there's going to be spoilers.
Exactly.
And then giving a cue and then whatever, versus I'm going to post this on my page and hashtag it all kinds of things. That's different. Let people enjoy the damn show like you did. I wish there was some kind of karma where the people like that would be like spoiled over the next 3 or 4 shows or something. Or there was some sort of TVA where they would get like agents would come in and beat their ass for a few minutes.
Jeez.
That was the spoiler police. Anyway, that was just me trying to help people out. Go ahead.
No, hold on. I gotta redo that screen share. I agree. Now, I had to turn it on for video and make sure the audio was playing, so that way I don't have to do funny shit with post. No, dude. Yeah, when it comes to that, I know everyone is used to being separated. Maybe you live far away from your friends and family, you're military and deployed, and that's how you communicate. But that's what message apps and things like Slack or Skype or whatever are for, and DMs.
Yeah, and Discord. we have a whole separate channel that's called
for the spoiler room.
Yeah,
where whatever just came out, that's for 24 hours. That's where you talk about whatever just hit. So if there's something that came out in the last 24, 48 hours you don't want to see, stay out of the spoiler room. But yeah, let's talk about something that's not really a spoiler, that is a great advertising synergy between Disney and their 20th Century studio, because this Free Guy was going to be a Fox movie. Took a while to come out, but holy shit, dude! All I know is yesterday on Twitter I saw just Deadpool and Korg trending, and I'm like, wait, what? Are we getting a comic? So I looked it up, and I see Ryan Reynolds' channel with Deadpool and Korg. Oh my fucking god! And this is, where's the fucking dogs? I love it, man. Dude, what'd you think when you saw this? Do you think that this is a sign that potentially some things for Deadpool have been filmed?
Absolutely. I think they've been working on it. And if not,
Feige did say they were back in March, I think it was. He did confirm earlier this year that it's being worked on, but we all thought he meant maybe script story.
Out of all of the just everything he likes to do, I can just see him filming a bunch of little things, and we're gonna get like a bunch of little annoying Deadpool segments, annoying in a good way.
Yeah.
So, this was so out of left field, and it's smart marketing, because, like you said, it's synergy between 20th Century Studios, Disney.
Like they do with the
Marvel
Simpsons
Studios,
stuff. Nick brought that up.
And everything. And then, like, everybody loves Korg. Like, and it's just so random. It's like, wait a minute. What the heck? What is this?
And it's so meta, dude. So much reference humor.
Yeah. Just, come on. What else do you want out of a... And it's definitely the best way you're going to get thousands of more people to watch the clip for this for the movie,
and get people to go, oh, that's still coming out, because
that's a thing. Yeah.
I think a lot of people have forgotten about it. I'm not gonna lie, I think a lot of people have legitimately forgotten about this movie in general. I like this.
Yeah. Yeah. So
he's got gloves on the bottom too. He's got a Disney Plus. Oh my god! I wonder. I thought this cup at the can at the bottom of their coffee table was a. It looks like that one issue of the Fantastic Four, where there's like a white border. You've got the four coming out of like a portal or something, and I thought that's what it was because it was kind of out of focus when I first saw it. But I wonder how many things that Deadpool gave away, because you gotta. There's no way this does hit, and there's not something in there in 2 years. Kevin Feige goes, oh, by the way, there's something in here, man. At the very least, it's just proof that he's back in the. Well, we know he kept the suit, but he's back in the
suit. He's continuing, yeah.
And Marvel is allowing Korg to enter. You don't do that. I mean, they gave us Noob Master 69 in a commercial. Why not this in a? This is what I want from Deadpool. I don't necessarily want Deadpool in the. I love 4 out of 5 avocados. You look like what is an avocado that's sex with an uglier avocado?
Yeah.
I love. This is great.
Like, I don't need him to be rated R crude. I just need him to be Deadpool.
Yes. Well,
and he can be super funny in a PG-13 as he is featured in other things.
Yes.
In his own thing, we're gonna keep it R.
Yes.
But as he is featured in other things, he can be just as funny.
I like how Taika kind of makes light of some recent events that he was involved in, which again, like originally when those came to light, I was like, consenting adults, who cares? But yeah, dude, that was so much fun. It's so cool to see it. I didn't really see anything. Like I said, I thought I saw a Fantastic Four thing, but it's not. It's just a can ad thing, tie-in maybe for Free Guy. I didn't really see any secrets in the wall or anything. You know, you always want to look for Easter eggs with anything from Marvel. Even back in the Fox days, they would put Easter eggs and shit. You know,
I had the privilege of touring the Deadpool suite in San Diego a couple years back. I got to sit on that couch, that phenomenal couch that he's sitting on now, and
the one that smells like old farts, gun oil, and beer.
Yeah, the entire room is an Easter egg, just with everything, even the way that the VHSs were placed, the drawings on the walls,
yes,
everything, the whatever decorations.
Yeah, what I mean by I didn't see any Easter eggs tying him into the MCU. I didn't see any big Easter eggs tying him into the MCU, but I have to think there's something that they said in there that is a subliminal ad for something involving Deadpool and
with the multiverse the way it is now. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up somewhere like totally confused.
It could be my only. This is my only issue with bringing Reynolds over. And look, I have said before, Pablo Hidalgo is kind of a dick for when he said the Star Wars canon is whatever it needs to be, meaning that even Disney can fuck it up and just say not canon, right? They can print an entire comic book arc, not canon. They can print novels, young adult novels, which they said originally would be canon, not canon. They can do that, and theoretically, you could do the same with Marvel, but there are so many arrogant, whining, little, pissant, younger millennials and Gen Zers so fucking attached to the goddamn 2000s X-Men that having Reynolds come over just gets people about Wolverine and Jackman, and I got it. Yeah, sure, he's great for the movies, but God, he's not a great fucking. He's not a great Wolverine overall.
Everyone's got him, bro. DC's got all the Snyder people right now. Okay.
And it's all that same age group. But anyways.
Yeah, it's the same guys that are featured in Harley Quinn. So
yeah.
You know, it is what it is.
That's my only drawback is because it opens the door for other Fox garbage. And I know some people that tickles your brain, but like I don't even want to play like the amount of meta that goes into the idea of what they could then do with Evans as Cap in this universe and Johnny Storm and that. I don't want that. Yes, it's fun to discuss out here, but I don't want it necessarily on the big screen because that takes up too much. That takes up too much.
They already have two. They've already got two, like you said. Evan Peters already came through, and
that's not. Evan Peters is not necessarily the Quicksilver.
He was still Quicksilver though,
but it's not necessarily that Quicksilver. So that's the only drawback for Deadpool. But they could say theoretically, yes, that's two Fox people, and that's like I said, one of those things they could be spoon feeding it to us in preparation. And look, Marvel could do it well. They really could. They could have managed to take in even the garbage ass Venom. I said it. If you like Venom, it's garbage. Get your brain checked. That's like apparently a shit ton of people in China. Fuck the CCP. Don't assassinate me yet, please. What do you see? Do you really think they're gonna bring Fox, at least all of their Fox stuff as it existed? Do you think that's what they'll say just so they can pick at it?
No.
Okay, so you don't think
do that? No.
So you think it's just Deadpool, potentially, maybe Jackman, because there's always rumors.
They'll Suicide Squad it and be like, "This worked. This guy worked. This one worked. This one didn't." And,
yeah. I could see that. I could cope. I could cope.
And then if you during the press conference, it's like, oh, is it the same character from Fox? It's like, nope, it's not. It's the same actor, not the same character. Next question.
Yeah.
Because whatever, man, some of those things work.
Prune it. Prune it. I was gonna actually use like prunes, like pruning shears, like you would, but I figured nobody would know what this is, so I was like, yeah, exact. But that's how you actually hold the shear. Yeah. Or unless you're Edward Scissorhands. Did you like early Johnny Depp films? His weird stuff like Ed Wood and Edward Scissorhands, and
his early stuff is what made me a fan. So
good answer. Good answer. I do have one thing I wanted to tease for our show on Friday, and that's our Friday Frights segment. Something that we had been talking about before. I want to talk about some of our favorite horror movie kills, because we were talking about the last time, maybe time before that, so almost a month ago when the Halloween Kills trailer hit. We were kind of talking about, you were thinking maybe they gave away too many of the big kills, and I was like, well, hopefully that means there's bigger kills than that, but we don't know. It might be kind of fun to look at some of the best kills in horror. It's because it's just one of those things where you start looking at how characters are done off in other genres, and how you can take something very, very violent like Transformers, where they're ripping off faces, ripping out spines of sentient robots. These are living robots. Exactly. And you can slap PG-13 on that, but you can't do that to a human and get a PG-13. So it's always been one of those interesting things. And again, I know this is totally off of the Marvel line now. Well, that's what happens in the universe now, right, Manny? But I always can really get a kick out of people that laugh at really good death scenes. because they're again, it kind of goes to that whole dark humor and how horror and funny people are very, very much entwined. Intertwined.
But you know what you're watching though.
Exactly.
Like you can't watch a horror movie and then be appalled because somebody got their head chopped off.
Exactly. But people are. There's still rules. You don't see children being often in film very, very often, and if they do show any type of thing, it's usually quick or post-mortem. I don't want to see dead children, but I will usually try to avoid things if I think it's going to upset me. I'm not gonna lie. There was a time where that didn't bug me as much. Now, as a dad, I can't really deal with a lot of stuff. Seeing kids get hurt in like true crime things, news report, like not even just horror, but I don't have to watch it. But I wouldn't be upset that somebody like me before I had kids would make something like that, because I probably would have. It was one of the fun things about what's that Cabin in the Woods, where like the Japanese schoolgirls defeat the apocalypse that they were trying to start on in their area. Because it reminds me of the difference in kind of rules for horror over in Asia versus America. But back over to Marvel, man. We know that Spider-Man No Way Home has kind of and again, remember, we're not wanting to spoil anything that we might know from that script or things that we've seen online, but Zendaya came out and said, she doesn't know the next time she'll get to act with Tom Holland, that these movies usually come in threes. Then you've got the fact that we haven't heard anything about any further discussions on the movies other than what we found out in 2019. I think it was, 2019, with Tom Holland getting the one solo film and the one team up film. And then you look at Sony and their moves, dude. Like, do you think Sony's going to take Spider-Man back and not work with Marvel for... Dude, hold on. No. Wait, just let me finish the sentence. For the foreseeable future, do you see a gap in the cooperate? Because that is now what I think is going to happen. They're going to take it and go home permanently. What I think there's going to be maybe a 5-year Spider-Man-less MCU gap before we get some interactions after Multiverse of Madness. What do you think's going on?
Nothing's going on, Kyle.
You think they're going to continue? Yes, Sony is going to Vince Zacara and whatever the fuck.
You need to take that tinfoil hat off your head, man. And Disney's never going to allow that to happen.
How could they stop them? How could they stop them? They're not going to stop printing. They're not going to stop printing Spider-Man comics or toys.
The partnership is too big at this point, and I wouldn't even be surprised if there's already a deal on the table. Dude, that we just don't know.
I hope so, but I don't have that faith in Sony. How do you have faith in? So look, Kevin Feige. We reported on this ourselves. It's on the webpage right now for everyone to go check out. Feige here says very, very specifically, there was a time it looked like Marvel Studios would not be involved in Spider-Man movies going forward with Sony. It was only a few months, but it was emotional. Okay, and he talks about Rotham and Bob and Alan Horn and Bergman. That's 3 Marvel Disney reps right here talking to one fucking asshole. And I know Tony Vincent Cara was one of the other guys talking shit at around this time. Sony did not go into that meeting in before D20. They did not go in good faith. 100% did not. They intended to take Spider-Man. That's why it ends with him. I guarantee you their goal was to have him go on the run in San Francisco. bet, or having Venom returning to New York to meet with Carnage. Either way, that was their idea. They didn't expect the backlash. I guarantee you, Amy and Feige worked out, let us give him a proper send-off. We're doing this multiverse thing. Let us give him a proper send-off. And then I think potentially during this process, they have hopefully worked out, instead of a permanent separation, hey, you guys have had him build your MCU for a bit. Let us use him to build our SUMC or whatever it's called, and then we'll go back to sharing. That is what I actually think is going to be the end run now.
So the thing is, Spider-Man really had his big MCU moment already in Endgame and Infinity War, and so if they put him away for a while, I don't care. I'm more interested in some of the other characters that they right now have the opportunity to play with. Hell, just Kang on his own and everything else. It's like it's Sony's property, and with the MCU having so much to work with and working with, I mean, we have like Moon Knight, we have She-Hulk, we have Hawkeye, and I mean that those are just the TV properties. We also have the Eternals coming up. We have Shang-Chi coming up. There's so much going on with so many characters that if Spider-Man's not involved for a while, I'm not even going to notice.
My only counter to that is and I can go ahead and stop sharing the screen right now, but what does Sony do? What is Sony going to do during that time? I know I don't have to watch it, right? But will they taint it so bad that the property becomes near toxic? Because let's not forget that when you look at the other, and even though Homecoming did amazing, there are definite early signs of hesitancy in the way that its box office trajectory was a very slow crawl comparatively, right, to other MCU films, and especially considering the big positive reception. People were just nervous about going and seeing Spider-Man on his own again after Amazing 2. So if Sony gets a hold of it and they fuck it up like they did Venom and like they did Ghostbusters 2016, Answer the Call, whatever the fuck you want to call it, can Marvel take it back, or does at that point Marvel do what they've done with other toxic properties, even in their own comics? When Fox was ruining X-Men and Fantastic Four, Marvel Comics stopped really publishing a lot of X-Men and Fantastic Four stuff that was worthwhile, and it dropped. So, there's no doubt in my mind that was used as a negotiation tactic. You know what I'm saying? I don't have faith in Sony doing the right thing, man. I don't, and I don't think they ever wanted to. I'm hoping, like you said, that Disney pushed something, but that's the thing, is if there's a break, I agree. There's a lot to fill in the gap, but what happens after?
I really think you're overreacting,
dude. I love Spider-Man,
and honestly, Sony was at the helm of the last two films, and they were fine.
No, you could say that all they want. Mark Webb. That was the last guy. John Watts has been at the helm. I will say that production credit goes 50-50 with Feige and Pascal, right?
No.
Yeah, it did.
I'm giving the credit. You gotta give credit to what it's due, and in this case, those are Sony movies, and
I don't remember if it was Rotham or Tony V, because I really don't know how to pronounce his fucking name, but I don't know if it's Tom or Tony V, but one of them said during this whole hoopla that they had been studying the Marvel playbook, that we can do it too. Okay? So no. the fact is, legitimately, it goes back to something I said back in 2018 when Venom blew up, that Sony legitimately gave Marvel Spider-Man to clean it up for them. And Jammer was always one that was like, maybe Sony's learned. We should give them another chance. Maybe they've learned. How much time has passed? How much? No, they haven't fucking learned. You can look at Ghostbusters 2020 or Afterlife. That's right. It changed. Thank God to Afterlife. Ghostbusters Afterlife. You can look at that and be like, no, they didn't learn jack shit. And now they're paying the price because people don't even give a fuck about 1980s kids in nostalgic situations like they did in 2019.
Well,
you know,
you gotta watch the movie
Mistake.
first. You've seen a trailer, so
mistake.
So
could be a good movie, not Ghostbusters.
Yeah, so you got to give it a chance before you burn the house down.
Dude, I've given Sony chances. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's where it all comes from. It's burn after burn after burn. Like, legitimately, as far as Spider-Man's concerned, I've been burned since Spider-Man 3. Like, from Spider-Man 3, burn, amazing, burn, amazing 2, burn. Like, there no trust there until Marvel touches it. All of a sudden, Feige and his playbook, again, which their execs, their producers are all like, yeah, we've got the Marvel playbook. That was the fucking word that they used. Or maybe
you're
they
like
said
so
Feige
hyper-focused
playbook.
on that term.
Because it's important, dude. That's all bigger,
but
broader context.
What you're saying is, then you've gotten 4 good Spider-Man movies.
Yeah, two that don't really hold up very well, but are good for nostalgic purposes.
So
1 and 2 don't hold up well at all.
I did not necessarily like Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, but Willem Dafoe as the Green Goblin
for what it
very
is,
well.
It's good.
The development of that Peter Parker was done. I liked it better than what they're doing now. What they did with Andrew Garfield Peter Parker, trying to make all this giant convoluted story about spies or whatever. Yeah, that was done well.
That was terrible.
Nick Dahl had talked about how it's one of the best fight scenes also that we've gotten in a comic book movie between Green Goblin and Spider-Man.
It's good
as far as kind of just viscerally violent and and that's good. So
yeah, well, it was Raimi, overall, so of course it was going to have.
And then the
violence.
Second film I thought was probably the best one out of all of them.
Not from me. Not out of all the live actions at all. Out of the Maguire ones, absolutely. Out of Maguire and Garfield, absolutely. Maguire, Garfield, and Holland, no, not in my opinion.
And then I'll be honest with you. I thought Andrew Garfield was going to be a great casting choice for the Spider-Man. I thought his character itself was fine. I just really felt they became too interested in the entire universe.
They had him do a fucking Michael Jordan Nike slam dunk. What the? When has?
He's supposed to be a young teenager person. So he's gonna do things like that.
Which Peter Parker did things like that in the comics?
There's a variety of versions.
Unmasked. In high school? No. That was always the key thing. That's what made Spider-Man so relatable to so many people. Was he was that guy that was on the outside until he put on, or got his abilities, fucks it up because he did let it go to his head. People often forget the broader expanded history of when he was doing the wrestling thing. It's not just one night. He was doing it for a bit, and he's a dick, and that's like what I loved most about Homecoming's explanation for when he talking to Tony, or maybe it was Civil War, and he goes, when you can do what I do and you don't, and then the bad stuff happens. That is something that we never really got to explore enough in any of these movies. Like, I really wish we could hear, not see, but hear Tom's version talk about that in some ways. But I just, dude, look, like I said, the Spider-Man stuff, Ghostbusters stuff, Venom stuff, just Sony things with things they've tried to do with other projects, including Final Fantasy. Dude, I have no faith in that studio, and I'm losing faith in Sony computers. The side that makes the PlayStation. They're making not just like some crappy hardware choices, some really crappy business choices as well, man. Like I don't know what's going on there. That's a different department.
Nobody makes good comic book property. And I mean, video game properties, man, for films.
Well, you know, Sonic was good. I like Sonic, and I like Detective Pikachu, but those are different and approached much differently. Mortal Kombat is good for what it is, but you're right. Nobody does it, but that's why I have no faith when they're like, oh, we're doing yet another Mortal Kombat or movie when that was first announced, and it turned out it was decent. And then when they're gonna do another Tomb Raider movie, I was like, nope, no faith in that. We're gonna do another Resident Evil movie, nope, no faith in that. Like, I'll see them, give them their shot, but I have no faith in it. Zero zip, nada. Sony needs to give me by themselves, not with Spider-Man, please, but by themselves a couple of knockouts in a row.
I just think you're too critical of them as far as in the future. They'd have to be so perfect that I don't know if they're ever going to be able to please you, man.
That or replace all of your producers and executives. I'll give everyone their fair brand new shot, even though they fucked up in another company. Because look at Feige, his name's attached to X3, guys. So and he gave us Iron Man and the Avengers and Endgame and all that.
Moral of the story: Spider-Man's going to be fine.
We'll see. I have fear.
I don't know where you got on this tangent.
I don't know either, but I will say thank you guys for joining us along this journey today. I hope you guys do take some time out and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell, so that way you can be notified when all the great content goes up on the YouTube channel. Follow us at LRM's Genreverse Podcast Network, wherever you get your podcast from. And in addition to all of the podcasts being up on YouTube, we also have a great interview team that includes Manny, Gig, and Nancy. And Manny, what's going on with that? We just had a big interview go up early this morning, late last night. What's that about?
Yeah, so I talked yesterday with Olga Kirilenko. She's been featured before in a Bond film, and now she officially joined the MCU as Antonia Dreykov, aka Taskmaster. She talks about her role with me, as well as what she think can happen with her character in the future if it was ever allowed back. So it was fun. It was a lot more time than I thought I would get with her. So I was really appreciative of Disney for that. And yeah, it's going to be up on the site very soon. But for as for right now, it is already on our web. Actually, by the time this goes up, it's probably going to be on our site.
Probably.
But yeah, just good stuff.
Very cool. So yeah, other than that, guys, make sure you're checking out damn it, geez, brain not working. LRMonline.com every day for all of your entertainment news, needs, and opinions. Follow me at that Kyle Malone on Twitter. He's at LRM_Emmanuel on Twitter. We have our information down on the screen below if you're watching on YouTube. Other than that, we should be live tomorrow morning at around 9:35. So yeah, join us on YouTube. We'll see you then. Bye.